on your whiteboard, I want you to write this as a fraction. 0.8. Write that as a fraction. Awesome sauce. So if you wrote 8 over 10, you are correct. Samantha, how did you know to put a 10 as your denominator?
Because the 8
is in the what place value? Tenths place value. Awesome. Write this decimal as a fraction. Good. 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 Awesome. So if you wrote 52 hundredths, you are correct. What digit do you look at to determine what our denominator is? Sophie?
I look at the 2.
The 2. And the 2 is in what place value, Sophie?
The hundredths.
The hundredths. Perfect. Write this number as a fraction. So turn this decimal into a fraction. Perfect. Good, good, good. Awesome. Good job, Haley. Haley, how did you know how to put 100 under here?
7.
The 7 is in the hundredths place value. Good, good. Take this number and write that as a fraction. Awesome. So if you wrote 7/10, you are correct because the 7 is in the tenths place value. Tenths place value.
It gets easy once you get it.
Yeah. So I want you to compare these two decimals. We have 0.07 and we have 0.7. I want you to compare them and tell me if they are equal or if one is greater than the other or less than the other. There's some steps we have to do. Okay. Ooh, good job, Colin. Colin, tell me what you did, buddy.
So I did 7 times 10 and 10 times 10 equals 1700, so it's equal.
Okay, so this number I'm going to write, we said that this was 7 hundredths. Is that right, Colin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we said that this number was 7/10. So they don't have the same denominator, do they? No.
But whatever you have to do, modding up to
Okay, so good job, Bentley. So we're going to change this fraction to have a common denominator of 100 so we can compare them. Remember, you can't compare them unless they have the same common denominator. So times 10 times 10, and this would be 70. So this 7/10, remember, is actually 7 of these big blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right?
And then that 7/100 is like
these little tiny guys, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
One nose.
Yeah. So 7 hundredths would be these little blocks, And 7/10 would be these blocks, right? Just giving you a visual with my amazing drawing. But, so the biggest thing is you've got to find common denominator. So 7/100 is definitely going to be less than 7/10, right? These are our tenths, these are our hundreds. Okay, good job, Samantha, thank you. Let's do another. If I have, let's see, 3/10, how many hundreds is that? So if I have 3/10, how many hundreds is that? Good. Good. How many hundreds is that going to be, Colin? 30. Because you multiplied by what number, Colin?
Times 10.
Times 10. So 3 of these tenths is actually going to be 30 hundredths. Good job. What if you had 55 hundredths and I wanted to see if that was greater than or less than 5/10? 55 hundredths or 5/10? Remember, our first step is going to be make this have a common denominator of 100. Nathan, tell me what you did, buddy.
So first I wrote out 55 100ths
Mm-hmm.
and then 5/10. So I times the 5/10 by 10s. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. And then I got 50 100ths.
Okay.
But there's 55 100ths and 55 100ths is greater than 5/10.
Good job, dude. So Nathan said that this, if you make it hundreds, is 50 hundredths. And that 55 is greater. Do you guys agree with Nathan? Yes, good job, Nathan. Okay. Good, good, good. Let's do a little bit more. What if I wanted to, I'm going to go to the other side of the paper. What if we were going to add and subtract these tenths and hundreds? Like, what if I had 7/10 and I wanted to add 7 hundredths to that? What would I have to do?
That times the 7/10 by 10.
Yeah, I have to make them a common denominator. So I'm going to change this guy. 7/10. How many hundreds would that be? 70. So this actually becomes 70 100ths. So what would be our answer?
77 100.
77 100ths. You only add what number? The
Is 7.
well,
The numerator.
the numerator. Good, good, good. Okay, let's do some more practice. What if I wanted to add 5/10 and 3 100ths? What would that look like? How would you figure that out? Okay, make them have common denominator. Is it easier to change the tenths or the hundredths? The tenths. 5/10 needs to have a common denominator of 100. So this would be 50 hundredths, so 50 hundredths. So what would be our answer?
5,300.
53 hundredths. Perfect. Good, good, good. Hold on for 1 second. I want you to write this as a decimal and this as a decimal. So 50 hundredths, write that as a decimal. And 3 hundredths, write that as a decimal. Let me see what you got. Christian, check your 5. Thank you, Logan. As a decimal. Thank you. Thank you, Memphis. Good, good. Yeah, so 50 hundredths. You just write your 50. And you make sure the zero's in the hundredths place value. Now, Memphis wrote this. Is Memphis correct? Yeah, yeah. There's like an invisible 0 there. So you can choose to put the 0 if you want or not. You don't have to. It's like invisible. Okay? And then your 300s should look like this. The 3 needs to make sure that it's in the hundredths place value. Okay? Okay. Great. Go ahead and erase your whiteboard. We're going to go back 2 weeks to do some review.
Okay.
We're going to go back to improper fractions and mixed numbers. Let me